You know that feeling when you're watching the news, you see the endless debates, the protests, the political drama, and you just think, my God, why does everything take so long? Can't somebody just get things done? It's a frustration we've all felt. We see problems that need solving now, but democracy just seems to move at a snail's pace. So let's get right into it. Is this slowness a bug in the system, or could it actually be its most important feature?
Right away, you can see the fundamental trade-off. On one side, you've got democracy. It's all about that slow, careful deliberation, this really messy debates, and hopefully, at the end of it all, a compromise. And on the other side, authoritarianism. It's promising speedy decisions, clear top-down directives, and just getting on with it. It's a classic battle, process versus pace. So if we choose the slower, messier option, what exactly are we getting for our trouble?
Well, it turns out, in exchange for all that speed, democracy makes three really big promises. You can think of them as the three pillars that hold the entire structure up. Let's break down what they are.
Okay, promise number one is accountability. And this is a biggie. It's this simple but really powerful idea that the government works for you, not the other way around. Every decision they make, every rupee they spend, they have to be able to justify it to the citizens, because the power flows from us, the people, and those in charge must answer for how they use it. Following that, we have promise number two, responsiveness. You see, it's one thing for a government to be accountable, but does it actually listen? That's what this is all about. A responsive government doesn't just act in a vacuum. It reacts to what people are saying. It pays attention to public opinion and adapts to the real-world needs of the people it's supposed to serve. And all of this sits on top of the third and final pillar, legitimacy. This is the bedrock. Legitimacy is that feeling, that deep down belief among the people that their government has the right to rule. And this belief doesn't come from fear or force. It comes from the fact that we chose them through elections. It's what makes people accept decisions they might not even like, because fundamentally, they see the government as their own.
So, accountability, responsiveness, and legitimacy. They sound great in theory, right? But the real test is, how do they actually play out in the real world? Let's take a look at how these big ideas are put into practice, starting with that all-important idea of legitimacy.
Just look at this. This chart tells such a powerful story. In India, a staggering 92% of people believe that democracy is suitable for the country. Now think about that. That isn't just a number on a chart. That is a massive vote of confidence. It means that despite all the day-to-day frustrations, there's this deep, underlying faith in the system itself. That is legitimacy in action. Okay, so what about accountability? How do we as citizens actually hold the government's feet to the fire? Well, in India, one of the most powerful tools we have is the Right to Information Act, the RTI. This law gives any citizen the power to ask for information from a public body, basically turning transparency from an idea into a right. And believe me, this isn't some law that just sits on a shelf collecting dust. The sheer scale of it is mind-blowing. Over 4,800 RTI applications are filed, get this, every single day. That's thousands of ordinary people every day asking questions, scrutinizing decisions, and demanding that their government answers to them. It's a constant grassroots exercise in accountability. And what about responsiveness? A great example is the COVID-19 pandemic. There was this urgent crisis, a need to protect people's health, but also their livelihoods. Public feedback and pressure from all corners helped shape policies like the PM Garib Kalyan Yojana, which gave free food rations to millions. This showed a government reacting, in real time, to the desperate needs of its people. But, of course, let's be real, it's not a perfect picture. These are the ideals, but the way democracy actually works on the ground, well, it often runs into some very serious problems. We have to be honest and look at the cracks in the system. And here are some of the biggest ones, aren't they? We've all seen how corruption and endless red tape can stall everything. Just think of major scams like the 2G spectrum or the Commonwealth Games cases. Then there's the huge influence of money and misinformation in our elections. And often, after the voting is done, citizen participation just seems to fall off a cliff. All of this eats away at those core promises. At the end of the day, the system isn't some perfect machine because it's built by and for imperfect humans. This quote really says it all. Democracy is not perfect. It's human, slow, argumentative, and messy. It has all of our own flaws baked right into it. So, this brings us right back to our original question. If it's so messy and flawed, why on earth do we stick with it?
Let's dig into why the trust that's built through this slow, painful process might just be more important than the raw speed offered by other systems.
Let's look at a really clear contrast. Take China's zero COVID policy. From an efficiency point of view, it was incredibly effective. Strict lockdowns were rolled out with military precision, all from the top down. But the citizens had zero say in it. Any disagreement was silenced, protests were censored. It was fast, for sure, but it was done without anyone's consent. Now compare that to what happened in India with the 2020 farm laws. The government passed them, but they were met with massive, sustained protests from farmers who felt completely ignored. The whole thing was long, difficult, and very, very messy. But after months of debate and public pressure, the government did something pretty amazing. It listened, and it took the laws back. This slide really puts it all into perspective. You've got efficiency without consent on one side, which in China's case eventually led to huge public anger and instability, and on the other, you have correction through debate. Yes, it took a lot of time in India, but the final outcome was seen as legitimate. It was accepted. That reads to stability. You could say the cost of time is simply the price you pay for trust.
And this ability to change course, to correct mistakes peacefully, that's democracy's ultimate superpower. It's not just an Indian thing. Look at South Korea's Candlelight Revolution in 2017. Millions of people hit the streets to peacefully protest a corrupt president, and through the proper constitutional process, she was impeached. It's a huge reminder that in a democracy, the people have the final say.
So yes, democracy is slow, it is absolutely messy, and it is far from perfect. But it's also designed to be self-correcting and, most importantly, legitimate. Its real strength isn't in its speed, but in the public trust it builds through that slow, messy, argumentative process. The system is built to give every single citizen a voice, which leaves us with the real question, doesn't it? The system gives us a voice, but are we using it?